So, anyways, another thing that I'm talking about people mad. This one kind of hurt though. Like when I saw, okay. Let me start with the Katt thing. I saw Katt on Joe Rogan. He finally got on Joe Rogan. Completely disappointed in the interview, just because I had an expectation that Joe and Katt was going to address what Katt said about Joe Rogan on Club Shay Shay. I thought Katt was going to go on there and Joe would bring it up or Katt would bring it up, and neither of them brought it up. It was 3 hours of aliens, Earth, history, two very smart individuals that know a lot about history, that clearly are smarter than me when it comes to that stuff. But I was fine for a while, but I was like, I realized I watched all 3 hours, and then it was over, and I went, whoa, who are the 6 comics? Who are the 6 comics that Katt said are funny? I think we narrowed it down to about 10, but we don't know who the 6 are. And it never got brought up. And I'm like, the whole reason Katt got on Joe was he went on Club Shay Shay and goes, Joe Rogan's got the same 6 comics. That's never been funny. And then it got back to Joe. And then Joe said, I'd love to have Katt on. I'm a big fan of his. And I'm going, nobody's going to bring this up? I can't fast forward like a little bit. Like, boom, they've been talking about the pyramids, Sodom and Gomorrah, aliens. It was a lot of history. Like, some of it was interesting. Some of it dragged for me. Other people probably ate it up and loved it. But for me, I just wanted I wanted to hear, not dirt, I wanted to hear Katt and Joe's different ideas on what makes a good stand-up. How did Katt make it? Why they haven't met after all these years, which is mind-boggling to me. Joe, maybe how Joe got wind of Katt. Do they have any stories from the Comedy Store back in the day? Because clearly Joe's been at the Comedy Store when it was Fat Tuesday was jumping. I remember going there and seeing him. He wouldn't perform, but everybody knew Tuesday night was a black night. And you see all the white comics in the back hallway watching. So I just thought, I wish there was more stories about that. And it was just a big history lesson. So selfishly, I was disappointed in the interview. For me, not saying it was a bad interview. Some people probably loved it. But for me, I was disappointed because I wanted to know who the 6 was. And I wanted just for shits and giggles. And then I just wanted to know more stand-up talk is what I wanted, basically. I wanted more stand-up talk. But what I was saying was a disappointing thing I saw, and I haven't addressed it yet. It's been a couple weeks, and I was like, should I bring it up? But, going back to Club Shay Shay and Katt and Monique, who have set the comedy world on fire to start 2024 off. But Monique's back and forth with her son a couple weeks ago. It's kind of died down since. But it hurt because regardless of how I feel about Monique, like I said, I don't wish bad things on anybody. I just still think she was wrong for how she compared Will Packer to Harvey Weinstein. And now that when her son came out and started talking, and I think her son got a lot of views and a lot of hits, and so he made a couple more videos. Because let me tell you, you go viral once, you're trying to recapture it. It's intoxicating if you've never had it. Especially when you say something, people start gassing you up, like saying, you're right, you're right, you're right. Now, for me, outsider looking in, being a stand-up, having kids that aren't talking to me, I think this hit home with me a lot harder than some other videos because when her son said, it was just money for me. The relationship was just about finances and things like that. But you weren't really there. Like emotionally, you wasn't there for me, basically. And then he said, when Monique and her husband said, we're here for you whenever you're ready. We're here. And he goes, what is that to say? I go, well, in that instance, I'm on Monique's side. She's probably saying, hey, we keep reaching out and we keep getting stonewalled. So at some point we got to stop. And then whenever you're ready, come to us. And then we could hopefully start healing and moving on and getting back to some kind of relationship. So I don't wish bad things on people. I hope Monique and her son can someday reconcile